The briefing room was silent, but the tension in the air was palpable. Rows of officers and SEALs sat rigidly, their eyes trained on the projector screen, absorbing maps, target locations, and intel briefings. At the far end of the room, Lieutenant Sarah Morgan, the only female sniper on the team, was quietly adjusting her gear. She knew that in a room filled with men who had never worked alongside a woman in combat, every movement she made was being scrutinized. Some of them couldn't hide their skepticism, and she could feel their eyes, doubtful, mocking, impatient. "Lieutenant Morgan, why don't you take a seat and let the real operators handle this?" one of the senior SEALs said with a smirk, his tone dripping with condescension. A few others chuckled quietly, glancing at her as though she were an intruder in their world. Sarah didn't flinch. She had heard it all before. The whispers, the side comments, the subtle undermining. She had trained for this moment, for situations far worse than being underestimated in a sterile briefing room. Her calm demeanor was her armor. The mission was straightforward on paper but deadly in reality. Intelligence had located a group of well-armed hostiles in a mountainous region near the border. They were heavily entrenched, and previous attempts to flush them out had failed. The SEAL team's objective was to neutralize the threat without collateral damage. The briefing laid out every detail, from enemy positions to potential escape routes. Every member of the team was expected to understand their role, and every mistake could be fatal. Sarah listened intently, her mind running simulations, visualizing the angles, calculating distances, wind speeds, and shot trajectories. The others continued their petty jokes, but she ignored them. She had one focus: the mission. She knew that once they were on the field, the mockery would end. Combat had a way of leveling the playing field. The helicopter ride to the target area was tense but quiet. The team was packed tightly, checking weapons, reviewing their plans, and maintaining radio silence. Sarah's rifle rested across her lap, meticulously cleaned and calibrated. Every detail mattered. Every calculation could mean life or death. She had earned her place through years of training, early mornings, grueling physical tests, and endless hours on the firing range. None of that mattered to her critics, yet, as the helicopter descended into the rocky terrain, the team disembarked quietly, moving in formation. Sarah took a position slightly apart from the main group, scouting vantage points. From her elevated perch, she could see the hostile camp, the enemy personnel moving in predictable patterns. 12 armed men, fully alert, but unaware of the predator watching them. She adjusted her scope, steadying her breathing. Precision was key. She had trained for this. Patient, calculated, lethal. Her teammates were busy navigating the rocky terrain, discussing strategies, and occasionally exchanging light banter. Some of them still underestimated her. One even muttered under his breath about how lucky they were to have her covering, over there, as though she were a backup plan rather than a vital asset. Sarah didn't react. She didn't need to. Soon, her actions would speak louder than words ever could. The first shot rang out, echoing through the mountains. One of the hostiles collapsed instantly, the clean shot leaving no room for error. The team froze, scanning for threats, while Sarah's eyes never left the next target. 2 more shots followed in rapid succession, eliminating another pair of hostiles before anyone even realized what had happened. The team's initial confusion turned to awe as they watched the woman they had mocked transform the battlefield. Covering fire. One of the SEALs yelled as they moved forward, now fully aware of the sniper's capabilities. Sarah remained focused, calculating each shot with military precision. Wind direction, distance, elevation, everything factored into her decisions. She wasn't just firing randomly, she was controlling the battlefield. By the time the team reached the perimeter of the hostile camp, Sarah had already neutralized 7 of the 12 targets. Her teammates moved with renewed confidence, inspired by her accuracy and calm under pressure. No one spoke of the doubts from the briefing room. They didn't need to. Her actions were undeniable. The last few hostiles attempted to scatter, but Sarah anticipated their movements, covering every potential escape route. One by one, the remaining enemies fell with flawless precision. 12 hostiles, 12 eliminations, 0 friendly casualties. The team had achieved what many had thought impossible, and it was all thanks to the sniper they had underestimated. As the team regrouped, the atmosphere shifted. Respect replaced doubt, admiration replaced ridicule. The same men who had mocked her in the briefing room now looked at her with a mix of awe and humility. Sarah finally allowed herself a small, satisfied smile. She didn't need approval, but there was a certain satisfaction in proving competence in the most undeniable way possible, through action and results. Back at base, the debriefing was filled with praise. Commanders highlighted the efficiency and effectiveness of the operation, citing the sniper's role as critical to the mission's success. Sarah remained composed, crediting the team as a whole, but she knew the truth. In the moment when precision mattered most, she had carried the mission to completion. Later, when she cleaned her rifle and prepared for the next operation, Sarah received a quiet message from one of the men who had mocked her earlier. "I misjudged you," it read. That was all. No excuses, no explanations. Just acknowledgement. For Sarah, it was enough. She didn't need validation from anyone else. Her actions had already spoken. As word of the operation spread through the SEAL community, Sarah's reputation grew. She became a symbol of skill, dedication, and professionalism. Her story wasn't just about a single mission, it was about overcoming doubt, silence, and skepticism with excellence and precision. Her presence in the team was no longer a point of discussion, it was an asset recognized by everyone who had the honor of serving alongside her. For those watching from afar, her journey offered more than a tale of military prowess. It was a lesson in resilience, focus, and the quiet power of proving yourself without lowering your standards or reacting to criticism. Sarah had faced mockery, doubt, and prejudice, yet she emerged not just victorious but exemplary. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to subscribe to our channel, Her World Stories, where we bring real-life heroes and extraordinary tales to life. This isn't just about courage on the battlefield, it's about everyday courage, determination, and the strength to rise above the noise. Sarah's story would be told time and again, not because of her gender, but because of her unwavering skill and professionalism. She demonstrated that competence and dedication speak louder than any words or mockery. Every mission she undertook afterward carried that weight of respect, and every new challenge was met with the same calm, calculated precision. In the end, the mission was more than just a tactical success. It was a turning point, for the team, for the perception of women in combat roles, and for anyone who had ever been underestimated. Sarah Morgan had turned mockery into motivation, doubt into demonstration, and skepticism into respect. She had eliminated 12 hostiles, but more importantly, she had shattered expectations. Her story serves as a reminder that greatness isn't measured by approval or recognition. It's measured by skill, perseverance, and the courage to act when it matters most. In the mountains, under the pressure of life and death situations, Sarah had proven that true excellence is undeniable. And for the men who had doubted her in the briefing room, there was no denying the truth of what they had witnessed. As the sun set over the base, Sarah prepared for the next mission, her resolve unshaken. She knew that every operation carried risks, but she also knew that preparation, focus, and skill would always be her allies. The echoes of that day in the mountains would remain with her team, shaping their respect and teamwork for years to come. And for anyone watching her journey on, Her World Stories, it was a testament to the power of resilience, precision, and the unyielding human spirit. This wasn't just a story of a mission, it was a story of proving oneself, of rising above mockery, and of demonstrating that skill and determination leave no room for doubt. Sarah Morgan had not only eliminated 12 hostiles, she had set an example that would inspire generations of soldiers, men and women alike, to embrace their potential, silence the doubters, and act with precision, courage, and unwavering resolve.